Fortunately, there is no limit on how many uploads I can have. Those people who for some reason seem to have like a little bit of a laughing disorder, if you ask me. And I gathered a new example yesterday, but this is something that happens every day. Yesterday, we had a customer who, unfortunately for her, many of us don't really enjoy speaking with her. She, from what I understand, was supposed to have been banned from our store, but maybe someone heard that and misunderstood what we were going to do about her. But she is still coming into the store and she's not treated as a trespasser. Maybe we just could not enforce trespassing on her. Whatever. She tends to be disrespectful. I think she's one of those people who returns things often, and maybe it's like she'll consume almost the entire product only to return it to then buy it again or something. It's like, lady, you keep returning the same thing. You mean to tell me this doesn't work for you at all? You always find something wrong with it? I'm not sure if it was her, but anyway, this kind of person, she's problematic from how she treats workers, how she treats products, stuff like that. Yesterday, she was in, and as soon as I see her, I remain relaxed, but I'm like, okay, great. Danger approaches on my 3 o'clock, so I gotta be prepared, right? I was helping someone, I was finishing up a transaction, and she was already hollering at me, and everyone on the line stopped what they were doing, got quiet, and then I heard the lady behind the lady I was helping say something like, are you trying to purchase something? To this lady that I'm describing is supposed to be a trespasser. And she was just kind of hollering something. And I think the lady I was helping tried to say something about, I think she has a question or something like that. And I just ignored it because I'm wrapping up. I'm like, finishing up with you. It's your turn. My attention is focused on just you. If there's someone else causing an interruption, I don't acknowledge them at all. Unless there's an emergency, someone is screaming, someone's on fire, someone is on the ground, something like that, you cannot get my attention. The only way you'll get my attention is if the customer I'm with asks me to address you. That's about it. If I can not do that, I'm going to not do that. I help my next lady. I'm like, hey, how are you? And as I'm saying, hey, how are you? The trespasser, I might just call her the trespasser, goes, have you ever heard of Deja Crap? Something like that. I forget what she said, sincerely. And I'm like, no, see you later. And then I try to greet my current official real customer now, as this trespasser is totally leaning over her stuff, leaning close to the customer ahead, and the customer ahead is like trying to like move forward. I could see how she's uncomfortable in her face, and that's when my tone became more firm and assertive. She was like, Deja crap means I have heard this crap all over. She was just laughing to herself, and I just continued my protocol of finally getting to say hello to my customer, being like, hello, how are you? Sorry about that. Did you have your own bags with you? Because some people really like to bring reusable bags, and I recognized her as someone who I want to say regularly brings her bags, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they say they want bags so that they can use them for trash or whatever. I'm trying to do my fucking job here, and you're trying to interrupt to say something that is not gonna be funny at all. And this is the kind of person this trespasser is. She is always trying to get a reaction out of you because she must be super lonely. She has, over the years, tried to share details with me. One time she said, you know what, something my husband said to me? He said he wishes he would have spent less time arguing with me. And I'm like, okay, great. See ya. I don't care. I don't want to hear that. You're never okay. You're never happy. You're never fine. Anytime you try to say something funny, it's at the expense of someone else. You're belittling or something like that. I don't find that shit funny. I just don't. I make it a point anytime she comes to my line to just be like, hey, how are you? And I know she's gonna say, well, I'm not doing too good. And she'll have like this sad looking face, and I'll just be like, all right, 8:12. out of 20, whatever's your change. Thank you, have a good one. And then she'll just stand there taking her sweet ass time. I get it, you're old, but you're pretty mobile. There's no reason why you should be taking so long to depart from the checkout. So, anyway, I'll start addressing the next person. And the worst part is she'll stand there to see if she can make a comment to the person I'm helping, because the person I'm getting ready to help doesn't know her any better. Therefore, will not be able to deflect this person. They won't be able to avoid them. So, what I try to do is I'll try to intervene, use customer service interactions, and that way the customer I'm with addresses me, and hopefully trespasser gets the message and fucks off. It's something that you gotta be kind of slick about. But anyway, it's just crazy to me that we have people like that. If you have a husband, be at home with him. You're definitely retirement age. Maybe you got to retire already. And if not, maybe your husband is ill. And I know that this lady probably hasn't retired because we have seen her around. We've seen her at Burger King, we've seen her at McDonald's. And I'm thinking, are you getting fired from these places? Or are you like a job hopper? You just cannot hold on to anything. I don't know, I don't care, but I just know that anytime she is at our store, she's a disruption. And we have heard from workers from other stores that they don't like dealing with her either. Can you imagine that everywhere that you go, you're just rejected? Nobody's truly your friend, nobody really likes you. And this is the person, I don't know if I told you guys the story of how I was at the post office, but this lady was pretty much speaking in a threatening manner to that post office clerk, basically describing how she has had to come over various times. And at some point, she was receiving her neighbor's mail, but now she's not supposed to anymore. And it's been 4 months, and now she has to come back. And she's like, I want you to get me a manager or a supervisor because I have had to do this many times. And if I have to come here one more time, and the clerk was like, or else. And that's been my favorite thing in the world. But that kind of person, that's just how she is. That's why it's important that you don't entertain people like that. Like, sure, we'll help you with whatever inquiry you have, but outside of that, no, we're not gonna be friends or anything like that. But yeah, those fake laughter kind of people, they deserve a topic of their own, and it's coming. All right, that's it, you guys. I thought I would share this character that stands out in our day. I wonder if you have experiences of your own, similar experiences of people who are like this. It's like loneliness manifests differently on people, and I guess in her, it's like not only are you emotionally lonely, but you're also like physically lonely. She's never with anybody. And I mean, I'm with my boyfriend from time to time. We go out and do things, whatever, right? But in my day to day, when I'm by myself, say getting the car fixed or shopping, it's not like I need to have someone with me so I can comport myself. It's inherent that I bring as little attention as possible to myself. I try to do things quick. And when issues arise, I know how to address them politely. But I just find it odd that some people need to be with someone as if they're your carer, because you being present serves as a deterrent for them to misbehave. But other times, I feel like they still misbehave because they want to give you the illusion that they're working hard to give you a good experience. But you only notice how rude and brutal they're being to the worker sometimes. Like, it's no big deal. The things that you think are giving me a bad experience probably are not giving me a bad experience. They're just making you anxious. And you're trying to reflect that on me somehow. I don't know. All right, that's my rambling. Bye.